I have people who come to me and after a while they literally talk themselves out of success. Now they don't know that they're doing that. They're not aware that they are doing that. But I've been through so much myself, personal like mental training and behavioral training over the course of my career, that it's very obvious to me. I'm not a trained psychologist, but I don't think you have to be because I kind of learned all these things by myself through trial and error and worked on myself and came up with, let's just say, a behavioral system which achieves the results that I'm looking for. And these are very basic things, and I've spoken about them in the past. Uh, it has to do with, basically, for lack of any other way of saying it, doing what you need to do to reach your goals, to get what you want. It sounds very simplistic, but really that's what it's all about. And I've gone through many times how trading will expose what you really want. So if you really want to be successful at trading, and by success I define that as making money and being profitable, then that's what you have to do. But I find a lot of people come to me and they come very enthusiastically and they're very excited and they really want to get into it, and then I teach them and they start trading successfully, and maybe they've never done it before and now they're making money consistently, and then all of a sudden they'll start to say, well, it's not enough, it's going too slow. So then they've been exposed right there. So what they're not willing to do, it's not really about the money per se, it's about having that instant gratification, which really is a reflection of a certain level of maturity or seriousness. It means I'm not willing to go through what I have to go through, which may require time. Okay, some of these people might be in it for a few months and they're making money immediately from the outset, something they've never done before, and now suddenly maybe they're operating in the Forex market. They could trade circles around other people who have been in the markets for years and years and years, but they begin to sabotage themselves, right? So the true nature comes out. The true motivation comes out, and the true motivation is that self-sabotage. They don't deem themselves worthy, so they'll start to make excuses like, it's going too slow, I'm not making enough money. Meanwhile, they start off with a very little amount of money and then they want big money right away. Or they come in saying, well, I don't want to make a lot of money, I just want to have something steady in the beginning and learn how to do this. And then when they learn how to do it, it's not enough, right? They want big money right away. Let me explain something, and I'm going to get off the psychological behavioral aspect that for 1 second. There's only two approaches, and basically this applies to everything in life. When it comes, and I'm going to speak about it in the context of trading right now. There are only two approaches, and I'm not talking about fundamental and technical and all that kind of stuff. You can basically go big and gamble, and I've done this. Believe me, you could plunk down everything you have, which might be a little right now, but you can plunk it all down in one shot, highly, highly leveraged up in a single bet, and hope for the best. And then, yes, if you are right, and if you can parlay that one bet into a large multiple of the original amount that you put in, then that gives you a stake, okay? Now, I've done this in the past. Don't forget, I've been doing this for almost 40 years. And in the beginning, where I started off as a floor trader not knowing anything, I was basically a market maker, and I would make money every single day because I would buy at the bid and sell at the offer. In worst case, I would scratch, meaning like I would just break even, and I would do that all day long. One tick, one tick, one tick, one tick. I would, broker came into the pit, I'm 30 bid at 40 or 30 bid at 35. If he wants to sell, he hits my bid at 30. I turn around, I sell it at 35. If he wants to buy, I sell it to him at 35. I turn around and buy it back at 30. All day long. It was like a money machine. Then that flow, the order flow, because I started on the New York Futures Exchange, that dried up when all the business really went to Chicago in the S&P. So then I had to kind of guess what direction I had to take a gamble on a direction. And in the beginning, I was doing okay, and then I got into that pattern. It's not enough. I got to make more. So I would say, I'll just make a big bet. And when I made the big bet, what happened? Didn't work out. I would hold on, hold on. It didn't work out. Now, sometimes in the past, I made big bets, and they made big, big money for me. But then there were other times when I got blown out. So let's just say I learned, this is my behavioral trait of alignment, right? Alignment means doing what it is that you are most comfortable doing, which might sound contradictory because I always say go do what's hard. But I'm saying that, that big bet approach was not for me for whatever reason. Let's just say I wasn't good at it. I don't know. So I had to find a new way. And the new way that I have developed is this sort of more of a business approach where you grind it out every day and, it's consistent profits. And over time, it builds up. And some people just don't want to wait. They want it right away. So if you want it right away, then you have to utilize an approach that's going to maybe give it to you right away. Like me personally, I like profit after profit after profit after profit. I'm a big believer that time makes you rich. I mean, what's a year? What's a couple of years in a life? And I'm not that young, but I'm saying it anyway. It adds up, and it adds up faster than you think. In the beginning, it's a slow grind, but then it's all exponential growth. It starts to compound. That's what makes you rich. I've said it so many times. You take a newborn baby and you put $50 in an account from the minute that baby is born, and you just invest that $50 every month in an index fund. By the time that baby is 65 years old or whenever it's going to retire, it's going to have millions of dollars. You could do the calculation yourself. You take one of those retirement calculators and you plug in the numbers. Very easy, but nobody does it. Time makes you rich. Time, nothing else. You don't have to know anything. It's that compounding of interest and dividends and all those things. In my case, or in the those who follow my methods, it's the compounding of our profits. If you make 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% a year, go do the math on that. That multiplies up very, very quickly. I had guys here, students who come on without any experience. They're the first year, they're up 40, 50, 60%. Where are you going to get that? Now, yeah, if it's on a small amount of money, if you're making 40% on $1,000, that's only $400. But you got to start somewhere. The point is the knowledge. You have the knowledge. You know what you're doing. You got to be patient. And maybe it's not really what you want. Maybe what you want is to sabotage yourself. Maybe what you want is to create excuses. Maybe your whole life is about creating excuses, that every time something good starts to happen, you find out a way, or you come up with a reason why you should not allow that thing to happen. It's taken too long, it's not enough money, I want more money, I got this other thing going on, maybe I should really focus more on this other business that I have instead of this trading. Maybe it was dumb of me for getting into the trading because I have this other business that I make up your mind. I always say decision is very easy. There's nothing to think about when it comes to a decision because, again, we don't know the future. Yeah, we try to sit down and have all the right inputs, and maybe we talk to people and what should we do and everything like that. But we do not know. So making a decision is easy. You make it and then you adjust once you make it. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. And then you just do the other thing that you want to do. But I'm telling you, the other thing's not going to work out either, because the problem is not that you're not making enough money. The problem is not that you don't have enough time. The problem is you don't want to succeed. And some people will accept that. Some people will be objective and honest with themselves, and they'll say, you know something, you're right. That's where my real problem is. I don't want to succeed, and I got to get rid of that mentality. But some people will cling to that. Some people will cling to that because the fear is real. You ever heard that phrase, the fear of success? That is real because there is comfort in whatever it is you're doing, however detrimental it is to your future and your career and your bank account or whatever. There is comfort in that. You ever see like people in abusive relationships? They stay in abusive relationships because the fear of getting out of it, sort of the unknown, trumps, the problems they have and the abuse that they're getting. So that's all I'm saying. You have to, if you know what you want, and many people don't. But again, awareness doesn't change the behavior. It's a first step. But it's amazing. I could see it every single time. And no matter, for some of these people, no matter how much talking you say to them, and no matter how much logic you try to lay out in front of them about how they are messing themselves up, they cling to whatever it is they're doing. They cling to those behaviors that is comfort for them, and they continue down that path. It's really, really sad. Bye.